Upstairs, where Vice President Dick Cheney remained in his office, the Secret Service had just learned from a tower supervisor at Reagan National Airport that a plane whose pilot refused to communicate appeared to be heading toward the White House. The agents did not know then that the plane was American 77, flown by a Saudi hijacker, Hani Hanjour, and assisted by two al-Qaeda terrorists the CIA had failed to put on a watch list. But the news was dire enough for the Secret Service to order the immediate evacuation of the Vice President. Agents propelled Cheney out of his chair and into the tunnel leading underneath the White House to the specially designated bunker, officially the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, which had been built below the East Wing as a shelter for Franklin D. Roosevelt during World War II. At the moment Cheney entered the tunnel, 9:37 a.m., American 77 crashed into the Pentagon. Rice, who was still in the Situation Room trying to reach Rumsfeld, looked up and saw the wreckage on television. Within minutes, the Secret Service ordered her to the bunker, too. Rice thought to call her closest living relatives, her uncle and aunt in Birmingham, to tell them that she was okay and to spread the word among the family. Then she was instantly whisked away. Rice got to the bunker around 10 a.m. and took a seat next to the Vice President. The next hours would be the most harrowing of her life. They were filled with snap decisions, fragmentary information, reports of impending attacks that proved false, mixed signals, tense phone calls, and nearly unbearable anxiety and confusion. Minutes after arriving, Rice watched the television in disbelief as the South Tower of the World Trade Center collapsed in a massive cloud of dust and debris, killing thousands. There was a groan in the room that I won't forget, ever, one witness later said. Then suddenly Rice was whipsawed by reports that yet another inbound aircraft, presumably hijacked, was heading toward Washington. The Air Force was trying to set up a combat air patrol of fighter jets over the nation's capital, a CAP in military parlance, and Cheney wanted to establish the rules of engagement. In short, whether the pilots should be authorized to take the extraordinary step of shooting down a commercial airliner loaded with passengers. The president was now aloft on Air Force One, and Rice remembered hearing Cheney inform the president in a phone call to the plane, "Sir, the caps are up. Sir, they're going to want to know what to do." Rice then recalled hearing Cheney say, "Yes, sir." Rice remembered the phone call as occurring within a few minutes, perhaps 5, after she arrived in the bunker. As she later recounted it, the Pentagon was asking, "What shall we do if—" And the vice president talked to the president and conveyed that, in fact, they should, if necessary, shoot it down. Within moments, a military aide informed the vice president that the aircraft now heading toward Washington, United 93, was 80 miles out. The aide asked for authority to engage, and Cheney said yes. I. Lewis Scooter Libby, the vice president's chief of staff who was with the group, later described Cheney's decision as quick and decisive, in about the time it takes a batter to decide to swing. The aide returned a few minutes later to say that the plane was now 60 miles out and, no doubt wanting to make sure that he had absolutely clear instructions for the ghastly event that he thought was about to occur, repeated his request to engage. Cheney again said yes. Joshua Bolten, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, who was unaware of any previous discussion about shooting down airplanes, had what he later recalled as a quiet moment. He then suggested that the vice president get in touch with the president to confirm the engage order. Cheney did so. On Air Force One, Ari Fleischer, the White House press secretary who was taking notes, recorded at 10:20 a.m. that the president had told him, Fleischer, that he had authorized a shoot-down. Back in the bunker, word soon arrived of an aircraft down in Pennsylvania. Rice recalled the sudden horror in the room at what they believed the American fighter jets had done. "We thought we'd shot down